My name is Jacqueline. Welcome to episode 31 of the Brooklyn Knitfolk podcast. You can find me on Instagram, and Ravelry is at Jacqueline Salem. Show notes for the podcast can be found on the Brooklyn Knitfolk Ravelry group on Ravelry. And you can get in touch with me at brooklynknitfolk@gmail.com through Instagram or through Ravmail. Sounds good? I have a cat here. This is Hank. He's not my kitty, he's my sister's kitty. I'm currently in Knoxville, Tennessee right now, where my sister lives, visiting my nephew. So sweet, he just turned 8 months old, and typically I live in New York City if this is your first time watching this podcast, but right now I am podcasting from Knoxville, Tennessee. This is going to be a shorter episode, I anticipate, because I did not bring all of my projects with me. I only brought a few, and to be honest, it took me longer to decide what to bring down to Knoxville than it did for me to pack the rest of my stuff. So yeah, I'm sure if you're knitters or crafters, you all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I do anticipate this will be a shorter episode just because I don't have that much stuff with me. Hi, Hank. He's really sweet. They have 3 kitties. So let's jump right into the episode. Oh, one bit of administration. If you entered to win the 2 sock patterns that were designed by the Wool Club, Verena of the Wool Club, you have been notified, and I have notified Verena, so you should be receiving those anytime, any day now. So give that a few days, and if you haven't heard back from her within a week, just let me know and I'll make sure to get in touch with her. So congratulations to the winners of those 2 sock patterns. And yeah, stick around because there's going to be more giveaways. That's another thing I wanted to mention. A few people have sent me yarn, which I am so grateful for, and it's so beautiful, but in order to save space in my suitcase, I couldn't bring it with me to show you, so I'll definitely be showing that to you guys next time. Some amazing new dyers that I've discovered and who have sent me your beautiful stuff to give away to you guys, so that's really exciting. So stay tuned for the next episode to be able to enter to win the giveaways for that yarn. So let's jump into the episode, shall we? I don't have any knitted finished objects. I know. The Hetty shawl, I'm still trucking along. I have it in this bag. The Hetty shawl is almost a year-long work in progress. It's like busting from the seams from this bag here. I'm not even going to show it to you today. Just know that I am working on it until I have more discernible progress. It's just going to be taking a break from the podcast until I can show you guys something more substantial. But I am working on it. But the work in progress I do want to show you for knitting today is living in my Maker's Haven project bag. And it's a new cast on, and the cast on is called, it's a pair of socks, and the pattern is called By the, see, I'm going to mispronounce this because it's a French river, Seine, S-E-I-N-E, By the Seine River. And it's a gorgeous lace pattern, deceptively simple. It looks difficult, but it's not. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, a 4-row repeat, 3 of which are straight knits. So there's only 1 row that even has the lace in it. If you can do yarn overs and if you can do knit 2 together, you can do this pattern easily. And I'm just about, okay Hank, that yarn is not for you, excuse you. I'm just about to start the toe on this. So the pattern does call for 72 stitches cast on. And I typically cast on a 56 stitch sock. So what I did was I kept the lace pattern as it was, and then it just kind of extends into the back side of it for needle 2, where I'm just knitting stockinette. And then for the fish lips kiss heel, I just kind of figured out what would be the halfway point. You know, I counted 28 stitches and then just knit the fish lips kiss heel for, you know, the normal half amount of the heel, or half the amount of the stitches that it calls for. Sorry, not doing a good job of explaining that, but just know it's 72 stitches in the pattern, 56 in mine, and I did not modify the chart for the front lace panel. So, the yarn, gorgeous, isn't it? This is Sweet Sparrow Yarns, who has gone full-time as of very recently. She's just left her job, and I think her last day is in a week from now. So she's going to be dyeing for us full time, which is super exciting. And this is her colorway called The More. So, so beautiful. I chose it because I was looking for a color that was like the perfect, not quite spring, but not like dead of winter cold, which is kind of hilarious because New York City is about to get hit with a really big blizzard any day now, but I digress. Check out the gorgeous subtleness that is the colors in this yarn. It's like gray, steely blue, purple, flecks of brown. It's the perfect almost spring but still winter colorway. And so I thought that a colorway like this really needed something more than just a vanilla sock. So I searched for a lace pattern that was in my queue or something with more specialness to it and decided on this one. I really love how it turned out. Again, sorry I don't have sock blockers with me, so I can't exactly show you, but you get the idea. Isn't it lovely? 2x2 rib, fish lips kiss heel, and then I'm going to do the toe in this color, which I used for my Jilted Rose shorty socks recently. So I'm going to love that little pop of color there. This is Yarn Co. in the colorway Electric Meadow. I just have this wonderful lavender sachet in there. Every time I open this project bag, even if it's just sitting somewhere in a room closed, you can still smell it. It smells so good. So yeah, these are my By the Seine River socks. And I'm just in love with the colorway. Julie does such beautiful work. Love that. So then I'll be casting on the second sock. I will say that I'm pretty sure that ever since I moved that my gauge has tightened up a little bit. I used to be a pretty loose knitter. Now I'm knitting definitely more on like the average to even slightly tighter side ever since I went through my moving ordeal. And this sock is hella tight, like really, really tight. It was hard to get on my foot. So I'm hoping that blocking will help loosen this up a little bit, because it was like, I'm considering even for the second sock casting on 60 stitches or casting on the same amount and maybe giving them to somebody else who has a narrower foot than I do. But I really love the pattern. It's like a close to vanilla pattern as you can get, but with some extra interest in it. So I highly recommend the pattern. It goes by so fast. And because it's the 4-row repeat, but 3 of them are knits, it works kind of like stripes in that you kind of want to get to the next repeat to the lace chart or the lace pattern. So that's the only knitting work in progress that I have to show you. I am working on, like I said, the heady shawl, and I have brought some yarn with me that if you've been watching for a while, then you've seen this before. Last year in April, I went to the Washington County Farm and Fiber Tour. Sarah of the Yarns at Yin Hu podcast organizes kind of like a getaway, if you will. And this year it's going to be happening again, and I'm going. I'm so excited. But I purchased 960-ish yards of this hand-spun Cormo yarn. Cormo yarn is so special. It's just as soft as merino is, but it's got more of like a velvety plush texture to it, really. It's wonderful. And I would say the weight of the yarn is about worsted to Aran. So I have, like I said, 960 yards. That's just slightly too small to really get like a good sweater out of it. But I've been looking into some cropped sweater patterns, some cropped 3/4 length sleeve patterns. In fact, Katie from Inside Number 23 podcast, she has knit the Chuck sweater, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen because her podcast is amazing. And the Chuck sweater, I do have the yardage for that sweater. I was considering knitting the Andawa sweater by Michelle Wong because that's like my dream of all dreams sweaters. But for a couple of reasons, I know that I don't have enough yarn to knit that sweater, so I will have to supplement it with another Cormo that I found, Stone Wool Cormo. And I'm not sure if the colors are even going to be the same, so I wasn't even sure if I'd care if I put it on the back piece or maybe knit the sleeves out of the other yarn. It's just like, it's a thing. So that's one reason. And then the second reason is all of the cabling that's in this heady shawl. I keep looking over here because it's like haunting me. All the cabling that's in that, and I'm just like so ready for that to be done. I'm wondering if I'll have the same feelings about the Andawa sweater. It's, like I said, designed by Michelle Wong, and Michelle Wong, if you don't know, is known for her incredibly highly densely cabled patterns. So this one is no exception to that. It's a very cabled sweater. So as much as I love the finished objects, I'm just not sure that I'm ready to jump into another very heavily cabled project so soon. So that's why I was thinking maybe the Andawa was not going to be the right project for this yarn, as much as I love the idea of knitting an Andawa out of it. It's just combined with the fact that I don't have enough yardage exactly for it, I'd have to supplement with something else. It just doesn't seem worth it. So I think I'm either going to knit the Chuck sweater or the, I'm going to mess up the name because I can't remember, it's honey something, like honeycomb, I want to say. I can't remember the exact, it was something I was toying with, and I had already cast on that project with this yarn, but then I was like, do I really need another wrap or a shawl right now? So you can see I'm agonizing over what I want to knit with this, because I just need something really, really special, because this yarn is so special, hand spun by Mother Superior of the St. Mary's on the Hill farm. Oh, this is another kitty. Jinx. He's gone away, or he's just hanging out over there. But it's a really, really special yarn and deserves a really, really special project. So, and there's not that much of, you know, like 960 yards, like I said, and it's worsted to Aran weight, so I think that whatever I knit with it is going to go by pretty fast. So it's even possible that I could knit up a check sweater before I go to the Washington County Farm and Fiber Tour to wear and show them, because a lot of the same people are going this year that went last year. So I think that would be really exciting. So I'm dying to cast this on, and I brought this because I wanted a really big project to work on while I'm here. I'm taking some time off to visit, like I said, my nephew and my family. So I thought it would be best to bring like a really big project that I could see like a discernible dent in the work that I'd done on it, rather than a bunch of small things. I'm not growing or falling out of love with socks per se. I love socks. I think they're an incredible travel project, but I will say that I am ready for a change in my knitting, if you will, like some bigger projects. And I love shawl knitting, but I have so many of them, I feel, that I wear them all, but I don't need more of them, really. So until I see like a lot of wear and tear on the ones I have, it just doesn't seem smart to keep knitting a bunch of shawls unless it's for somebody else. So a sweater seems like something I would really like to make right now, hence why I'm thinking about the check sweater. So if you have any sweater suggestions, you guys know my style, pretty modern, something that can use 960-ish yards of worsted to Aran weight, so it'll be a pretty fitted sweater and probably either cropped and 3/4 length sleeves or, you know, something like that. Let me know in the show notes comments. I'd love to hear from you, your suggestions and ideas. So that is it for knitting, and next we'll move on to sewing. I have 2 finished objects to show you. The first one, and I'm going to insert some video of me wearing these things to show you, because I'm sitting on the floor right now, so I can't really like show you very well the objects. But the first one is the skirt. I showed this at least I think last episode and maybe a few episodes before that. This is made out of a knit fabric, a Telio diamond print in the olive colorway, which is funny because it's not really olive. To me, it's much more forest green, that I got on fabric.com. The quality of the fabric for the price, incredible. I love, love, love this fabric, and I would definitely purchase again and recommend it to anyone. It is not super high stretch, so it was, even though this was not a pattern designed for knit garments, it still worked out really well because it's not super stretchy. Don't pay too much attention to this really awful waistband. I need to redo it and pick it and make it straight. It's, yeah, like even there, it's pretty bad. But I will say that I learned a lot while doing this project. I'd also like to redo the hook and eyes, but it fits so well. If you recall from the last episode, I said I was going to take out the pleats and make the pleats take up more of the fabric, but what I ended up doing was just taking in the sides on one side because the zipper was already in on the other side, so I took it in quite a bit on this side seam here, and you can't even tell when it's on. It's fine, and it's a high-low skirt. And another miracle of miracles, almost forgot. While I was sewing the second finished sewing object that I'll show you here in just a minute, I learned finally how to use my serger. So excited because I bought my serger used from a stoop sale about a year ago now, and for whatever reason I just couldn't get it to work, and I didn't know if it was user error or if it's because I bought it used and something was wrong with the serger. Finally I called up Julie, who is the dyer behind Sweet Sparrow Yarns, who is she's a fashion designer, so she went to fashion school, and so she knows, you know, probably more about how to use sewing machines than I do. And so I asked her if the tension on the threads should all be loose enough that I can pull them like you can with a sewing machine, because with a sewing machine thread you should be able to pull it easily. There shouldn't be tension on, at least not a lot of tension on your thread. You should be pretty easily able to pull the thread through the needles. And she said on the top 2 needles you should be able to pull it through, but on the bottom 2 that should be pretty tense, almost to the point where you probably even shouldn't be able to pull it out. Light bulb went off. I had the tension set so loose on the bottom 2, the underlocking threads, that I was able to pull it through, and hence it would keep unthreading itself on the bottom all the time. So once I tightened up the tension, it was fine. So There we go. Finally, so excited to have figured it out because now my finishes look so professional compared to, you know, what they were looking like before. So I'm just like so excited to finally know how to use my serger because it makes such a difference with the final look of the innards of the garment. It makes it look ready to wear, which is what I'm going for. You know, I don't want it to look homemade and crafty or anything. Like, I want it to look like it's something that you could have bought just custom to what I actually want to wear that I can't find in a store. So, plus the added bonus of this being a high-low skirt, since I learned how to use the serger, it worked out even better because when I'm wearing it, you can, you know, when the skirt moves and stuff, you can see the back portion of it when I'm wearing it because it's not flat, you know, against the front, the same level as the front. So it was imperative that this hem looked as good as I possibly can because you were going to be able to see this in certain angles, you know, from the outsider's point of view. So I'm really, really glad that I learned how to use the serger finally. I just want to run like every piece that I, you know, sew together through the serger first because it makes the garment look so profesh at the end. So I'm really excited about it. Like I said, the only thing that I think I would have done differently with this pattern is I think I need to redo this waistband, but you know, I'll just make another one, another skirt, because I will definitely make this pattern again. It was incredibly easy to sew up, a great beginner sewing pattern for a skirt, for sure. So yeah, really excited with how it turned out. I think that's really all I wanted to say about it. I love the fabric. I think I get, you know, so far everyone who has seen it has loved it. I haven't worn it in front of a ton of people yet, but everyone's like, oh my gosh, I love your skirt, it's so cute. So that's like the best you could hope for, right? Alright. And then the second finished object, I told you guys I was going to make it. The geisha shirt. So it has the crisscross back. Again, I don't have the patterns in front of me, so I can't tell you right now what the patterns are, but I will definitely put it in the show notes for you to refer back to, because I can look it up. And it has the crisscross back. This was actually the pattern that I learned how to use the serger on, and the reason I learned how to use it on this was because I didn't want to draft or sew a lining for the shirt because it's going to be a summer top, so I just didn't want it to be heavier than it already was going to be. The back portion of this is twill fabric, and the twill is pretty heavy as it is and structured, so I didn't want to add more fabric to it and make it even heavier. So in order for it to look finished on the inside, I wanted to run it through the serger so that if for some reason, you know, it kind of lapped over, folded over, somebody saw it, that it would still look okay once it was on. So I ran all the pieces through the serger. I used my edge stitch foot presser foot that comes with my Bernina, and that's how I did this edging, really nice and smooth. I'm just so pleased with the finishing on both of these compared to projects I've made in the past, especially. So maybe to you like professional seamstresses, this is not very great, but for me, compared to what I was producing in the past, this is eons better already. So I'm just excited about it only getting better from here. And this fabric, isn't this amazing? I know I didn't wash it because it's not ironed, so shame on me, but this fabric was a gift from Tanya, who is Tea Knit Pearl on Instagram, and then this fabric is from my Rhinebeck dress. The geisha fabric she gave to me because she and her husband Michael drove me to Rhinebeck, and then this was from my Rhinebeck dress, so I kind of like how it's all come full circle and I'm using it in the same project. The back of this top, so cute, you guys. I will definitely make this again. And this is a cropped version of the top because I only had so much of the geisha fabric. I cut it as long as I could with the fabric that I had. So I did not have a very wide cut of fabric. It's a vintage piece of fabric, and I'm not sure where she even got it from, so I don't have any sourcing information on that for you. But I cut it as tall as I could with the fabric, and then trued up, kind of like eyeballed these back pieces here so that they would match up with the front. and the back looks so cute on. Also, for Christmas, I can't remember if I've shown you guys these on the podcast or not, but my mom got me as a stocking stuffer these adorable custom labels. And so I thought it'd be fun to start adding those into my sewing projects. So I've added it to the shirt. Now I'm getting all twisted because it's a crisscross back top. There we go. But yeah, so pleased with how this turned out. I will definitely be making this pattern again. It looks really great on. I think I finally kind of got my sizing down a little bit on the McCall's, or the Big Four patterns in general. I really should just start with a size down. I'll definitely look at the finished measurements of the garment first to compare with my current measurements, but in general, a size down is still going to make, like, this is a size down and it's still quite loose and flowy to the point where I'm even thinking about taking it in a little bit more, but at least starting with a size down from what my measurements say, and if the finished measurements are printed on the information on the pattern, I'll definitely refer to that first before cutting a pattern piece. But really thrilled with how this turned out. Can't wait to wear this. Really excited about it. And then the last sewing project that I will show you, it's not exactly a fail, but it is funny, and it's a work in progress because it hasn't exactly worked out. So I can't remember again, sorry, I'll put all the pattern information in the show notes for you. The pattern picture, oh, did you hear that? Oh, he's still asleep. Sweet Maverick, my nephew. If he wakes up, I'll definitely get him and show you guys him, but he's asleep right now, so I don't want to wake him up. The pattern shows a shorter skirt and a longer skirt. The longer skirt is longer than knee length, and according to the picture, it makes it look like the shorter skirt version should go about mid-thigh. Well, let's just say this skirt, that I cut the shorter one, barely covers my bootay. Like, when it's hemmed, it's all hanging out. So, I love the top of it. It's a very low V-neck, and the pattern picture shows the model wearing like a top underneath it, so I could definitely obviously wear a top underneath it, or wear it as, you know, like a little black dress, you know, in New York City, going out dress, you know, something like that. So it's a very low scoop V. And then the back will have a zipper. I didn't even bother putting in the zipper yet because I know I'm going to take off this skirt and add a much, well, not, you know, I still want it to be probably like mid-thigh, but this isn't even close to being modest. So I need to add a longer skirt to it, so I haven't bothered putting in the zip or anything quite yet. I ran all my pattern pieces through my serger because I am obsessed with serging right now, and I'm just like so excited with how much more finished. Oh, he is awake. He is awake. Okay, 1 second. Okay, sorry, false alarm. He's not awake. He's faking me out, or maybe he is awake. He's just got his eyes closed. Now they're not. Now he's awake. Are you awake? Okay, now I'm getting him for real. This is Maverick, my nephew. Uh-oh. What, sweetheart? Oh. There was a call for snuggling, so of course I answered the call. This is my sweet nephew, Maverick. What? Hmm? Waking up from naps is rough. So I have sweet Maverick sitting next to me. I think he's going to play with his toys over here. Hopefully his babbling won't be too much for you guys. So the dress. It's too short. I'm just going to unpick the skirt, make a longer one, and then finish off the pattern as it's written. And then hopefully that will be good to go. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really, like, the top fits super well. He's really excited about that too. Top fits super well, and I'm really excited to have this as a finished sewing garment. So the last sewing thing I want to talk to you guys about obviously is the quilt along. There's a thread going in the Ravelry group. There's a thread going in the Ravelry group for the quilt. Your posts have been amazing. Seeing all the fabrics that you guys are using is really exciting. I'm hoping, everyone's been saying that the tutorial videos have been really great and like making this approachable and feeling like a beginner really could do it. So if you're still on the fence about it, I hope that you guys will join in. It's really the perfect beginner sewing project. So with that, I've decided that the beginning start date is going to be a week from now. So I put it in the Ravelry thread. I can't remember if I said it was going to start Sunday or Monday or something like that, but it's a week from now. It's the official start date. Again, you can start now if you want to. A lot of people have already been cutting out fabrics, which is great. Start whenever you want to. I'm very flexible on this. The end date is kind of TBD, to be determined. I'll probably make this a 2-month project, even though honestly you really do not need that much time to do this. But I'm guessing that a lot of you still haven't acquired your fabrics yet, so I wanted to give you some time to get a hold of your fabrics in case you haven't already done that. And then, yeah, and so post in the Ravelry thread. Hashtag your pictures on Instagram with Brooklyn Knitfolk QAL, which stands for Quilt Along. And I love to see what you guys are working on. So we're already getting very chatty in the chatter thread, so I'm really excited to see what you guys are doing. There's going to be so many beautiful projects by the end of this. You're going to be so proud of yourselves. So really, like I said, if you're on the fence, get in on this. It's the perfect, I've never turned my sewing machine on ever sewing project. Trust me, you can do this. If I can do it as an 8-year-old, you can do this. I believe in you. So with that, yeah, we'll get into acquisitions. Some acquisitions that I can show you. Hi. You were such a ham. Some acquisitions. Like I said, I can't show you, let me adjust this. I can't show you any of the yarn acquisitions that I've been sent because I didn't bring those with me. Yeah. Sorry, I know this is probably really distracting, but I am wrapping it up because there's really not a lot left to show you. No yarn acquisitions to show you, unfortunately, since I'm out of town. But as soon as I get back in the next episode, I'll be sure to tell you all about those. A couple things I did bring with me just because I had enough room to. A special project that I'm working on that I can't really talk a lot about. If you know what it is, then you know what it is. But I don't want to say a lot because I want everybody to have an equal opportunity to stumble upon it. So this is an acquisition for that project. And along with this is the intended thing that I need. But Misha of Lucky Star Yarns also sent me this adorable little project/notions bag that has these sushi on it. So cute. And this yarn. She doesn't have any yarn up in her shop. I've asked her. She told me she's going to be getting up yarn in her shop soon. But you guys, keep a watch out for Lucky Star Yarns. Go follow her on Instagram because this is one of those dyers I know is just going to explode on the scene. Look at this skein. It's like mint green with speckles. I'm obsessed with this. I had to resist all urges to not cake this up into a little cake ball and put it into my granny stripe blanket immediately. This one, this like blush, so good. And then this teal one here. These two are my favorites because these are definitely my wheelhouse of colors, like neutrals, blush, pastels, but this one is still lovely as well. But I'm obsessed with these two. So Lucky Star Yarns, go follow her on Instagram and check her out because as soon as she starts selling, I know she's going to be one of those sellout dyers. And then the next thing I wanted to show you guys, a really, really special acquisition. I hope she doesn't mind me talking about this. I probably should have asked her first, but she does have an Etsy shop, so I'll link below. But Sue is unable to use this really special pair of scissors. I won't get into the details why, but she can't use these scissors anymore because the holes are too small. And they're Ginger scissors, which if you don't know are like the creme de la creme of scissors. All you scissor snobs out there, you know what I'm talking about. And she said they were sitting in her sewing stash and she couldn't use them anymore. So she wanted to give them to somebody who she knew would love them. And Sue, you could not have picked a better home. I've already started using them. They're right by my sewing machine at home and I use them for all these projects already that I showed you. I am really, really touched to have these scissors. It's just a really special gift and I'm really touched by you giving them to me since you can't use them anymore. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, if for no other reason, then you guys should be exposed to Ginger scissors. Again, the best of the best scissors, like insanely good. She also sent this little needle cozy, which I've been dying to try out because I don't have any of them. So thank you for that. And then some really cute stitch markers that have little shells on them. Like I said, she has an Etsy shop, so I'll be sure to link to it. Go check her out and support her because her stuff is just, it's great. So great. Yeah. And then with that, oh, one last thing I wanted to talk about. So that's it for yarny stuff and craft stuff. So if you want to turn off here, by all means, I love you all. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. But if you're interested in hearing a little update about Salem Fit Trials, my Fitstagram Instagram account, then stick around for just a second. So as you may or may not know, on my Instagram, my fitness Instagram, Salem Fit Trials, I've been participating in a 30 days of cycling challenge. So that's where I have been cycling every single weekday for 30 days. It's been challenging, it's been hard, but the results are, I'm just like floored. I went shopping yesterday and found so much stuff that, anyway, I won't get into that, but let's just say that I'm just like really excited with all of the progress I've been making. If you are so inclined and interested in doing a 30-day challenge yourself, it just so happens that I bought on Groupon or something, Gilt City, I don't know, New York City, for a rowing studio, a 30 days of unlimited rowing. So I'm going to do another challenge of these, probably in April sometime. I'm going to give myself a little break, like a week break after finishing my 30 days of cycling. But once I finish that, I'm going to do 30 days of rowing. So if you want to do a 30 days of something, you know, whatever it is, Laura, who is Velau, or Veelau, oh my goodness, on Instagram, she has been doing 30 days of stepping with me. So every day that I do a cycling class, she does a stepping class with me on the West Coast in California. So hi, La, and thank you so much for participating with me. It's so exciting. So if you guys want to get in on a 30-day challenge with me, comment in the episode thread and follow me at Salem Fit Trials, and we'll do the 30 days of whatever it is you want to do together. Solidarity is so helpful, honestly, like knowing that somebody else is doing it with me and is, you know, kind of holding me accountable in a way. If I don't do it, then she won't do it. It's just like, oh no, I have to, so that Laura does it. So I'm telling you, like, if this is, you know, the motivation that you need to like do it in a group, do it with me. I would love to do something, you know, with you, since I'll be doing it anyway for the 30 days of rowing. So let me know if you want to participate and we can all cheer each other on together. So now that brings us to the end of the episode, and with Mr. Maverick here, who's been chirping away. Sorry, I hope that hasn't been annoying you too much. Yeah. I love him so much, if you couldn't tell. With that, we will be signing off, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Say bye-bye!